In the heart of Ikeja, Lagos, where the Okadas humped like angry spirits and the smell of suya, mixed with evening rain, stood a white bungalow that everyone called the Dimeji House, Oladimeji Toll. Soft-spoken banker with a smile that could calm Lagos traffic lived there with his wife, Oluwakemi, and their 3 children, 10-year-old Tund, 7-year-old Funmi, and 4-year-old Little Aid. Dimeji loved Kemi the way Lagos loved its night markets, fiercely, loudly, without apology. He called her my oxygen in front of everyone, bought her Ankara dresses that matched his agbada, and never forgot to kiss her forehead before leaving for the bank. But his mother, Iya Adebisi, hated Kemi with the fire of 1,000 pepper soups. Why did my only son marry a girl whose father was a mere vulcanizer? She would hiss in the kitchen while stirring efo so hard the pot shook. She cannot even greet properly in Yoruba. She will finish my son. Kemi endured. She woke at a.m. to prepare Dimeji's oats, packed the children's lunchboxes, and still smiled at Iya Adebisi every morning with a humble good morning, Ma. But Iya Adebisi had one mission: send Kemi packing before she spoiled the family name. First strike. One Sunday after church, Iya Adebisi brought Prophet Jeremiah, a man with a white beard longer than harmattan grass. Your wife carries marine spirit, he thundered, sprinkling holy water that smelled suspiciously like schnapps. She will bear in your son's destiny. The whole compound gathered. Kemi's hands trembled, but Dimeji stood up, calm as still water. Prophet, if my wife is marine, then let the sea take me too, because without her, I am already drowning. He paid the prophet double and sent him away. Iya Adebisi's eyes burned like coals. 2 months later, Iya Adebisi flew Dimeji's ex-girlfriend, Sleek Effie, from Canada. She has 2 master's degrees and her father is a chief. She whispered to her son at night, she will give you proper children, not these ones that speak English like Oyinbo. Dimeji laughed so hard the neighbors thought he was watching comedy. That evening he took Kemi and the children to the new cinema in Surulere, bought them popcorn and ice cream, and posted on WhatsApp, my queen and our jewels. Best decision I ever made. Effie left the next morning, tail between her legs. Iya Adebisi stopped eating for 3 days. Iya Adebisi visited a babalawo in Ikorodu at midnight. She came back with a small clay pot buried under Kemi's pillow. The next morning Kemi woke up with a terrible headache. Iya Adebisi shouted, see, the spirit is working. Pack your bag. But little Funmi, the sharpest of the 3, had seen Grandma digging in the backyard the night before. She told her father in secret. Dimeji dug up the jar himself, took it to the police station, and returned with officers. The babalawo confessed on video that Mama paid me 20,000 naira. Iya Adebisi cried real tears that day, but not from shame. Then came the cruelest blow. Iya Adebisi started whispering to the children, your mother will soon leave. She doesn't love you like I do. Tun began answering Kemi rudely. Funmi stopped running to her for hugs. Even Little Aid hid behind Grandma when Kemi called him. Kemi locked herself in the bathroom one night and cried until her eyes swelled. Dimeji found her, held her, and whispered, they are just children. I will fix this. The next weekend he took the kids to Lekki Beach without Grandma. He told them stories of how their mother carried each of them for 9 months, how she sold her gold to pay his mother's hospital bill when she had typhoid. 2 years ago, a secret Kemi had begged him never to reveal. Tun cried first, then Funmi. Little Aid simply climbed into Kemi's lap when they returned and said, Mommy, don't go. I will fight Grandma for you. The final storm. Dimeji traveled to Abuja for a 2-week bank conference. The very next day, Iya Adebisi called the entire family, uncles, aunties, cousins from Ibadan and Osogbo. They filled the sitting room like market women. Pack your things. Iya Adebisi commanded, eyes red. My son has agreed. This marriage is over. Kemi stood in the middle of the room, 3 children clinging to her wrapper. Her voice shook but did not break. Ma, I have never disrespected you, but I will not leave my husband's house without hearing it from his own mouth. The uncles shouted. The aunties clapped and insulted. Iya Adebisi pushed a suitcase toward Kemi. Then the door burst open. Dimeji walked in, suitcase in hand, tie loosened, eyes blazing like a man who had driven through Lagos rain at 120 kilometers per hour. He had taken the first flight back after receiving a frantic voice note from Little Aid. Daddy, Grandma is sending Mummy away. The room went silent. Dimeji dropped his bag, walked straight to Kemi, and kissed her forehead right there in front of everyone. Anybody who wants my wife out of this house must first take me out. I built this home with her sweat and tears. If she leaves, I leave. The children leave. Even the dog leaves. He turned to his mother. Mommy, I have respected you all my life. But if you cannot love the woman who gave me peace, then I will choose peace. We are moving to the new apartment in Lekki tomorrow. Iya Adebisi's legs suddenly gave way. She sank into the sofa, sobbing like a child. For the first time, she spoke the truth that had burned in her chest for 12 years. I was afraid you would abandon me the way your father did before he died. I thought if Kemi stayed, you would forget your mother. Kemi knelt before her mother-in-law, the same woman who had called her marine spirit and witch for years. Ma, I can never take your place. You carried him for 9 months too. Let us carry him together. That night, for the first time, Adebisi ate the jollof rice Kemi cooked. She even asked for extra. 6 months later,
the Dainji house in Achaia now rang with different sounds. Laughter instead of shouting. Aya Adebisi now sat in the kitchen teaching Kemi how to pound yam the real Yoruba way. She bragged to her friends at the market, "My daughter-in-law is the best cook in Lagos." Every evening, Dainji still came home, loosened his tie, and pulled Kemi into his arms while the children ran around like happy puppies. Sometimes he would whisper, "See? I told you I would fight for you." And Kemi would smile, eyes shining, and reply, "You didn't just fight for me, my love. You fought for us." In the end, the thread that bound them was never broken. It only grew stronger, woven with love, tears, and the stubborn heart of a Lagos husband who refused to let anyone tear his family apart. The end.